You can spend next 40 years doing everything right, getting a degree, working hard, getting promotion, saving money, making sacrifices for your family. And yet, when you retire, your children could be starting exactly from where you started. Think about that. 4 decades of effort, a lifetime of income, and still no financial legacy, no meaningful asset, no head start for your next generation. Because here is the reality most people don't like talking about. A salary can help you survive, it can help you live comfortably. But a salary alone can rarely create generational wealth, and that is why most of the families stay stuck in the same financial cycle for generations, while some slowly build wealth that lasts for generations to enjoy. So, what are they doing differently? Are they earning more, or are they luckier, or they have understood something about money that most people never understand? And where do mutual funds fit into the story? Can a simple systematic investment plan help ordinary Indian family create wealth worth crores over time? Or it is just a clever marketing? In this video, we will uncover what generational wealth really means. Why do most families never build it, and why some families quickly break the cycle? We will also understand whether mutual fund is really a tool for creating generational wealth. Namaste friends, I'm Rohini and you're watching the knowledge series of fincash.com. We need to understand what generational wealth really means because most people tend to misunderstand it. Generational wealth is not about owning luxury car or expensive watches. It's not even about high salary. Generational wealth means creating assets today that benefit the coming generation. It's about creating a financial legacy, assets that survive beyond your working years, assets that help your children start from a better position than you did. A business can be generational wealth, a house and investments can be generational wealth. The goal is simple. Every generation should start a little further ahead than the previous one. Unfortunately, for many families, this doesn't happen. Every generation starts from zero again, and that's where the real problem begins. Assets help your family move ahead. You cannot pass your monthly salary to the next generation, but you can pass investments, real estate, ownership. And when you look at the wealthy family around the world, that's the most common pattern you will find. They don't pass down the income, they pass down the assets. So here we need to understand that why most families are not able to build generational wealth. Let's imagine a man spending 35 years of his life working, earning salaries, getting promotion, receiving bonuses, yet retire with very little wealth. How? Because income creates lifestyle. Assets create wealth. That's the huge difference. As income rises, expense rises too. We need bigger homes, better car, more subscription, more spending, more traveling. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it silently destroys long-term wealth creation. Another problem is delay. Most people start investing in their late 30s or 40s, and by then they have already lost the most valuable asset, that is time. And when it comes to building wealth, time is actually more important than the money. There is another reason why most families struggle in creating generational wealth. It is because inflation. Imagine this. 20 years ago, a simple meal outside cost a fraction of what it costs today. School fees, house rent, and daily expenses were much lower. The products did not become dramatically better. Your money simply became less powerful. This is the hidden challenge every family faces. Even if you're saving money, inflation is constantly reducing its purchasing power. And that's where many people make a critical mistake. They think saving money and growing money are the same thing, but they are not. Saving protects your money. Investments grow your money. Let's say your money grows at 5%, but inflation is at 6%. So are you become richer? Not really. You're actually moving backwards, just very slowly, and that's why creating generational wealth isn't just about accumulating money. It's about building assets that can grow faster than inflation over a long period of time. For decades, Indian families relied on three wealth-building tools: gold, fixed deposit, and real estate. And honestly, there was nothing wrong with that. It provided security, stability, and long-term value. But there was one challenge: accessibility. Not everyone could buy multiple properties. Not everyone could continuously invest large sums. And that's where mutual funds changed the game. For the first time, small investors could participate in the growth of India's economy with relatively small amount of money. And this is how India's mutual fund revolution began. India's mutual fund industry has undergone a remarkable transformation. Today, the industry manages assets worth more than 70 lakh crore. Monthly SIP contribution have crossed 25,000 crore. Millions of Indians are investing regularly through SIP. This wasn't actually the case. A decade ago, many people viewed mutual funds as a complicated and risky investment. Then came one of the most successful financial awareness campaign in India, Mutual Funds Sahi Hai. That campaign did not make people rich, but it made people curious. It encouraged millions of Indians to start learning about investing. And slowly, India's investing culture began to change. People started moving from simply saving money to growing money. But awareness alone isn't enough, because understanding mutual funds and building wealth are two different things. Buying a mutual fund does not automatically make you wealthy. Wealth is created by what you do after you invest, how consistently you invest, how long you stay invested, and whether you allow compounding enough time to work. So let's see what the numbers actually tell us. Can an ordinary Indian family really build generational wealth through mutual funds? The answer is not based on opinion, it is based on mathematics. So let us put this idea into test. Let's imagine three families. Family A invests nothing, relies only on saving. After 30 years, their wealth depends entirely on what they manage to save manually. Family B, they invest 10,000 every month through a SIP. Assuming a long-term annual return of 12%, over 30 years, the total investments come across 36 lakh. Potential corpus can be approximately 3.5 cr. Now family C, they invest 20,000 per month. Over 30 years, the investment values up to 72 lakhs. Potential corpus is around 7 cr. Now before these numbers sounds exciting, let's remember something important. 7 cr 30 years from today will not have the same purchasing power as 7 cr today. Inflation will reduce part of that values, which is exactly why wealth creation is not about chasing a large number. It is about growing your wealth faster than the rising cost of living. And historically, equity has been one of the few asset classes that has consistently helped investors do that over a long period. Think about that. The difference isn't effort. All three families worked hard. The difference is the behavior and seriousness about investments. The difference is about consistency. And most importantly, the difference is the time. Warren Buffett famously said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." Most people obsess over returns. They always hunt for funds that gives 14% return, 16% return. Which fund beat the benchmark? The biggest factor isn't returns, it's the duration. Let's compare two investors and see. Investor A starts investing at the age of 25. Investor B starts at the age 35. Same SIP, same return, same discipline. Only difference is the 10 years. That single decision can create a wealth gap worth crores, because compounding does not grow in straight line. It grows exponentially. The first decade feels slow. The second decade feels rewarding. The third decade feels transformational. And that is why time matters so much. Mutual funds are powerful, but they are not magic. Economic crises happen, bear market happens, market falls, corrections happen. But amongst all, biggest risk is not the market. It is the investor's behavior. Studies across global market consistently show that many investors earn lower returns than the funds they invest in. Why is that so? Because they panic. They immediately stop their SIP. They sell during crashes. They return after market recovers. Even if the fund performs well, such behavior of investors harm their returns. So coming back to our question, can mutual fund really create generational wealth? The answer is yes, but only if they are treated as long-term assets. Because generational wealth is not created in one market cycle. They are created across multiple decades and sometimes across multiple generations. Mutual funds are tools. They require time, discipline, patience, and realistic expectation. A mutual fund cannot guarantee wealth. It cannot eliminate risk, and it cannot replace financial planning. But when used correctly, it can become one of the most effective wealth building vehicles. which is available for ordinary families. So the real power isn't mutual fund. The real power is about time, consistency, and your devotion and dedication to building your generational wealth. If you genuinely want to build generational wealth, then follow these sequence. Step 1. Protect the foundation. Build an emergency fund. Have adequate health and term insurance. Because wealth cannot grow if every crisis forces you to start over. Second step. Build growth asset. Invest consistently in assets that have potential to outpace inflation over long period. For many ordinary families, mutual funds have become one of the most accessible ways to do this. Step 3 is increase your investment as your income grows. Don't let every salary increase become a lifestyle upgrade. Let part of it become an investment upgrade. Step 4. Stay invested through cycles. Generational wealth is not built in bull markets. It's built by surviving bear markets. The families that create wealth think in decades, not in quarters. Fifth step is create assets that you can pass on. The goal is not just to retire comfortably. The goal is to live behind something valuable, a portfolio, a property, a business, an asset base that gives the next generation a head start. Step 6. Transform financial wisdom, not just the money. Because the greatest wealth transfer isn't an inheritance check. It is teaching your children how wealth is created, protected, and manipulated. Most people spend their lifetime chasing income. Wealthy families spend generations in building ownership. Income pays the bill. Ownership changes family's future. That is why this conversation was not really about mutual fund. Mutual fund is simply one of the tools. The real goal is creating assets that continues to work long before you have stopped it. Because the first generation earns it, the second generation inherits it, the third generation multiplies it or loses it all. The question is not whether mutual funds can create generational wealth. The question is whether you are willing to think beyond your lifetime. Because that's where generational wealth truly begins. It is your money invested smartly.